Ladies and gentlemen, John Decker, escorted by Kevin Schultz.
I'm not sure how many times they'll be playing that fight song next Saturday night, but inside joke. I really honored to be here, and I echo what a lot of other people have said. Thank you to the board of the Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame and its members for bestowing this honor on me. I really am grateful, and thanks to Steve Kelly and Bob Cady, who's here tonight, for the nice video. I didn't know I was that good, but in any event, I wanted to also thank all of the sponsors and also supporters of mine from Brown Kendrick and from Saginaw Valley State University, and finally my family. My sister Sue and her husband Pat are here. My lovely daughter Molly made her way from New Orleans last night to be here with me. And then finally my wife Sally, a beautiful lady who there are not very many people on this planet who would put up with a guy who made them go out on the night of their 50th anniversary and attend a college football game. So my kudos to Sally for that. As Steve and Bob alluded to, I really had two careers. One was an athlete, and it started right here in Saginaw, Michigan at Arthur Hill. And I think at that time, it was really a privilege to be able to compete because those were the things that were important to me. And I think it was undisputed, really, that in the state of Michigan, the Saginaw Valley League was the premier athletic league in the state of Michigan, and to be able to compete and be successful there was very gratifying for me. That kind of carried over for me when I went out to Lincoln, because there I also had a chance to compete with the very best, and that's really what I wanted to do during my athletic career, was to be there. I had a Heisman Trophy winner who was my teammate, played against Heisman Trophy winners, All-Americans, Outland Trophy, you name it, but I came away satisfied that I had been able to be a part of that kind of an environment. And it also came, I'm happy to say, with championships, team championships, and that was another thing that was very important for me as a student athlete. But there are a couple things that go into having championship teams, and that's great coaches. And my high school coach, Hy Becker, and my college head coach, Bob Devaney, are both members of this Hall of Fame. So that tells you the kind of coaching that I had while I was competing. And then teammates. I think in the article that Hugh wrote about Lamar, he alluded to great teammates. And as I alluded to earlier, I had amazing teammates all through my high school and college career. So, and then, as noted in the video, I had an opportunity to have a second career in college athletics, and that was recently at Saginaw Valley State University. And I can't say enough about that opportunity and the chance that it gave me to be able to work with fantastic people, my fellow administrators, our coaches, and people like DJ Volz, a young man who received a scholarship up here. Those are the kinds of student athletes that I was getting paid to watch. So that was a tremendous opportunity. But I wanted to close with saying that I can't say enough about the Saginaw County Sports Hall of Fame and the work that has gone into it in the last 20 years to put together really, I was a history major, by the way, but a history of the sports in Saginaw County. And my own personal example that I'll end with was I had my coach, Bob Devaney. He was an Arthur Hill guy. And, you know, that was the pipeline through the years, I think, for that part of the Hall of Fame. And then when I went out to Lincoln as a freshman, a guy who took me under his wing and mentored me a little bit was a guy named Jerry Patton, Saginaw High. And a guy like Jerry, he built the foundation and paved the way for people later on, the Lamar Woodleys and the Charles Rogers of the world. So, and then lastly, my late and dear teammate, fellow inductee in this Hall of Fame, Eddie Perriard from Birch Run, Michigan. Little Eddie, these guys over here know Eddie. And the point I want to make is that there's an interconnectedness to this whole group of sports and athletes and coaches and so on in Saginaw, because Ed went from being a national champion at Nebraska to working with George Eiler. And in 1973, he helped produce that team that had a guy named Ron Rummel on it, who's also an inductee tonight. So what kind of goes around comes around when it comes to this whole organization, and I can't tell you how thankful I am to be able to be a part of it. Thank you.